Based on everything we know, he certainly got the shaft by his ex-wife.
Yeah, she had an affair and left him for another man.
Cleaning up the bank accounts on the way out the door.
Nothing I did was working. The more I tried, the more out of control my eating became. Then, I did something I hadn't tried before. I became a savvy detective and figured things out. If I can do it, so can you. Find out more at solveyouroutofcontrol.eating.com.
Hi, welcome to Solve Your Out of Control Eating. My name is Michelle Holtzberger, a clinical social worker.
And I'm Victoria Todd, a child and adult psychoanalyst who has been helping my patients with all kinds of eating issues for a very long time.
But in the virtual world, we are savvy detectives
who solve real-life eating issues.
And we're going to teach you how to become a savvy detective too. So grab your detective cap, your magnifying glass, and your notebook and share in the comments. Because today we're going to meet, who are we going to meet, Sherlock?
Today we have the case of Dan, who binged after a failed relationship.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right.
So step into our virtual office and be like a fly on the wall and see what we can learn from Dan. Then stick around afterwards to hear our detective work and our practical advice. Now, here's our mystery man, Dan.
I've pretty much given up on losing weight. I've tried everything: pills, shakes, food, delivery, you name it. Thinking about Ozempic, but I'm not sure my insurance will cover it.
You seem to want to talk about your weight.
That's why I'm here. Well, not really. A neighbor lady referred me to you because she says I'm depressed, but who wouldn't be when you're as big as I am? I can't do anything I used to. Used to work out and be on a travel basketball team. Now I get out of breath going up and down the stairs.
How long have you been overweight, Dan?
4 to 5 years.
Wonder what happened 4 to 5 years ago.
My wife left me.
That's pretty significant. Can you tell me more?
Not much to tell. She just left.
Hard to talk about?
Not really. She'd been having an affair, so she left me, married him. Now she pushes the baby buggy by my house.
What about that?
She wanted to have kids, but there were problems. She finally got pregnant, They had to do it this other way, artificial insemination, but she lost the baby, had problems with her blood pressure or something. I'm not sure if I was a dad for a few hours or not.
Sounds so sad, Dan.
Yeah.
Did you want to be a dad?
Yeah, but I think she blamed me. I was working all the time. My brothers and I were flipping houses. I would leave early in the morning and get home after dark covered in drywall dust. I was so exhausted. I couldn't get her pregnant. So she went out and found someone else who could. I was shocked when our bank account statement came. She had totally drained her checking and savings accounts.
How did that make you feel?
I tried to keep it a secret, but my mom went through the roof. She badmouthed Joyce all over town. He's a big shot realtor, makes a lot of dough. Everyone knows him, dresses to the nines, fake tan, big teeth, drives a Porsche. I think he was a player before he met her, but my wife's really pretty. She's 10 years older than him, but really fit. I guess he's a trophy husband. But I don't think I hold anything against her.
I think some men would be very angry at her.
Why?
Why do you suppose?
She has a right to live a happy life, have a baby. She had a really good job at an accounting firm. I got it for her. She wasn't really qualified, but my fraternity brother was a VP over there and opened all the right doors.
What about that, Dan?
I always tried to help her out when I could, still do. When her mom died of cerebral hemorrhage last year, she asked me to be the pallbearer.
Did you agree?
Yeah, of course. I've known her since junior high school. Known the whole family. Always got along with them. I don't hate her or anything. But I do wish she wouldn't push the baby buggy by my house. Well, actually, I don't care. But she also pushes it past my mom's house, and she gets rip-roaring mad. Then I have to hear about it.
Now comes the fun stuff, the detective work. Let's see if we can figure out why Dan is overweight.
While I was listening to Dan talk, and I was listening for feelings, let me see here what I have. I have rage, but it is not Dan's. It is his mother's rage. Now that's significant, but let's put that aside for now. We'll come back to it and focus on Dan. This therapy session reminded me so much of an earlier one we did on a young woman named Beth. He's leaving me because I'm too fat. That's where we talked about missing feelings, not missing as in missing a person, but missing as in an absent feeling. And things just do not add up for Dan. Based on everything we know, he certainly got the shaft by his ex-wife.
Yeah, she had an affair and left him for another man.
Cleaning out the bank accounts on the way out the door.
And then another clue, pushing the stroller right by his house.
Not just his house, but his mother's, as if to say, I can have a baby. Your son was the problem. And I think he was. I think Dan has sexual problems. And this is a woman that wanted a baby. But pushing the stroller by his house, now that sounds very vindictive to me.
And then another clue, to top it off, she asks him to be a pallbearer at the funeral.
And he agrees. In fact, he tells story after story as if it happened to someone else with no hint of the expected feelings. Mad is the missing feeling here. And we know that mad feelings don't magically go away. So what happened to them? Depression is anger turned on the self. But there's more. And here's where we need to return to his mother, his enraged mother. Does Dan's mother have some of his mad feelings for him? Now, if I'm right, this would be a totally unconscious process for both Dan and his mother. But this would allow Dan to be the nice guy. Sure, I'll be a pallbearer for you after you totally screwed me over. I bet the mother, who has no problems whatsoever having her mad feelings, was livid at both Joyce and Dan over that one.
And what about suggestions, practical advice for those suffering from depression?
Sure. Now that you know that depression is anger turned on the self, grab that magnifying glass and go searching for answers. What is going on in your life, maybe like Dan's, that would make you feel angry? Can you talk to a trusted friend about it? If not, journal about it or vlog and become curious. What happened in the past when you got angry? Or someone else did? In other words, why is it so hard for you to have your mad feelings? And why must you turn them on yourself?
Well, that's it for now, but there's more mysteries like Dan's to come. So be sure and give us a like, subscribe, and even hit the bell so you don't miss a single episode. See you next week. And remember, keep searching for clues.